Hey everyone, I'm Frank from L4PQ, and this is the second video of the beginner series. What I'm going to talk about in this video is mistakes you don't want to make during your first week of playing Tower of Fantasy. First mistake, don't use your SSR selector early. Now the reason why I'm telling you this is because you want to pull and hit pity on the standard banner first. You can either pull until you hit the first pity, which is within 30 pulls, or you can go all the way until you hit the 80th pity. Honestly, it doesn't take much to get to the 80th pity if you're going to be playing a lot during your first few days of release. This game does focus a lot on weapon set synergies, which is why you want to use your selector on SSRs you are lacking. For example, if you pull a main DPS weapon like Samir, then you want a shield breaking weapon like King. Or if you have both of these covered, then you can go for a support DPS like Tsubasa. Obviously, there's gonna be waifu or husbando chasers out there, so if you care about collecting the SSRs you love, or you're a whale, you can just throw everything I just said out the window. I will cover some of these characters in a later video, but I will also have a link down in the description if you want more information about weapons. Second mistake, exploring way too much. So there's nothing wrong with exploring in general, especially if this is what you love about these kinds of games. But if you only have a limited time to play the game, I would suggest you do your main quest first and spend some vitality while you're at it. This will allow you to unlock areas and teleporters faster and unlock new content to spend your vitality efficiently. Obviously, I don't want to force you to play a certain way because at the end of the day, just do what you want to have fun. Third mistake, using way too much resources on the same type of weapon. This is important, especially for your first week or two of playing. I'm not just talking about having the same elements, but also talking about having too many support, DPS, or shield breaking weapons. This ties in with the first mistake I mentioned in the video, but you will need to start identifying them early because even though they have the same roles attached to them, or you can see their shatter score, some of them aren't as obvious as you think. For example, King has a DPS resonance and Huma has a defense resonance, but they fill the same role, which is breaking shields. So obviously you want to pick only one of them to invest early on, especially when resources are going to be more scarce the more you start investing into weapons and equipment during your first couple weeks of playing the game. Fourth mistake, don't make mono elements early. There's various content that will resist or be weaker to certain types of elements. So investing into 2 or more unique elements is worth it early. That's why a lot of players or tier lists recommend King, Samir, and Tsubasa as a solid balanced team. King can shield break and is a fire element, Samir is the DPS and is volt element, and Tsubasa is the support buffer and is ice element. This team fills 3 different roles and has 3 different elements for content, which in my opinion, one of the best starts you can have in the game as a free to play or low spender. And even in a few months after the game, most of them will still be viable for late game mono element teams. Fifth mistake, investing into defensive or support roles early. As I mentioned previously, your first couple weeks is important. Unless you're thinking about playing with a party every time you log into Tower Fantasy, you're going to be playing solo most of the time. You won't really need to invest into a defense or support role until you reach much harder content like raids or hard frontier clash, and that's really only if you're interested in those roles. Other than that, I would try to invest into a solid weapon set that I mentioned in the fourth mistake, and then invest into maybe 1 or 2 other weapon rolls later, since you only need 2 of the same type to activate the weapon resonance. Sixth mistake, not using your token currency before the limited feature banner is over. There are some people out there that will think, oh, these red token currencies will surely carry over to the next limited banner, right? Nope. If you don't use these before the banner is over, then they're gone. And that's something I did as well. So if you're not interested in the feature banner, I wouldn't use any red nuclei on it to save your token currencies. But if you are, try to use just enough so you won't have any spare token currencies remaining. Seventh mistake, not using your shop currencies for progression or saving up for dupes. There are several different kinds of currencies in this game, and each currency has their own little shop to spend them on. You're probably going to be confused on what to get and might make the mistake of getting whatever you want. In my opinion, you should probably be spending on stuff that can make you stronger or progress through the game. Eighth mistake, not using your relics often. Now, I was also a crime of this when I first played the game for the first few days, but relics are incredibly useful in this game. Whether it be using your jetpack to glide, using your jetboard to surf, using the hand cannon to make platforms, using strange cubes to move objects, or even using relics like Colossus arms for combat. So make sure to pick them up early and farm them at Ruin Exploration. And also there's a guide on how to obtain the Colossus arms for free. The link is in the description. You can also equip multiple sets of them and quickly swap them out by pressing the swap button on the side. Basically, you're just taking the harder route by not using them at all, so make sure to add them to your daily routine. So that was it for the second video of the Tower of Fantasy Beginner Series. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover, and with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!